Okay, but you guys, this story is actually insane. We're talking about a mother who went on a live interview, spilled her family's darkest secrets, and in the process, might have just confirmed everyone's fears about her kids' safety. And not just a little bit. I mean, the kind of details that make you sit there, staring at your screen in complete disbelief. It's the kind of story that makes you rethink how much people really reveal online when they think they are just talking. At first, it just seemed like another messy TikTok mom situation, another case of oversharing gone wrong. But as the live went on, what she said and how she said it changed everything. Because in that moment, Alex, who people online call Donut Mom, might have unknowingly exposed something far more disturbing than anyone expected. And the internet? They haven't stopped talking about it since. So let's rewind a bit because this is where everything starts to click together. You know, when you're watching a live, just minding your business, and then suddenly the energy shifts? Yeah, that is exactly what happened here. Alex, better known online as Donut Mom, decided to hop on a live interview with Maria Monet, the creator of the famous Mama Drama group on Facebook. And if you've ever watched Maria before, you know she doesn't even need to dig. She has this calm, non judgy tone that makes people feel way too comfortable. She'll just nod, smile, and say, and suddenly people start confessing things they should probably take to the grave. So Alex starts talking, and at first, it's all surface level. You know, the usual mom talk motherhood, the online hate, how people don't get her. The classic victim of the internet narrative. And for a minute, you might even feel a tiny bit of sympathy. Like, okay, maybe she's just misunderstood, maybe she's tired. But then, she opens her mouth again, and the tone shifts completely. You could literally feel the chat freeze, like the scrolling stopped, the kind of silence that makes you lean closer to your phone because you know something wild is about to be said. She drops this casual, emotionless line, and it's not a small thing. Out of nowhere, she says that both she and her boyfriend Taylor, the man she currently lives with, the one helping raise her three children, suspected each other of SA toward one of their own kids. I mean, what?
Donut Mom went on live with Mariah Monet the other day, and she told everybody that her man that she is currently with, Donut Mom, by the way, not Mariah, Alex, her and her man, okay? They both suspected each other of SA claims, okay? SA claims against their own child. So Alex suspected him, and he suspected her, but she's saying that he only suspected or reported her because they were in an argument, they were breaking up, and he was mad, he was being petty. And all of a sudden, she's not going to be addressing anything, but you're addressing it, and you literally came on live stream, and talked about it. She even texted my phone number and sent me threats, and she's mad because all of my videos about her are blowing up right now. I would show you guys the text messages, but they are too they are too bad to be posted on here. So if you want to see them, you're going to have to add me on Snap or just look at my story, and I'll have my name somewhere up here, somewhere down here.
The way she said it, so offhand, like she was reminding herself she forgot to take out the trash. It didn't sound like an accusation. It sounded like a confession wrapped in denial. And I am sitting there, jaw on the floor, thinking, no, because did she really just say that? Like, that's not something you just blurt out in a Facebook Live, right? That's something that makes your entire audience stop breathing for a second because suddenly, this isn't mom drama anymore. This is dark. This is serious. This is the kind of thing that doesn't just fade from people's minds once the live ends. Now, here's where I literally had to pause the live and just stare at my screen. Alex tried to explain it away. You know, like when someone says something awful and then tries to soften it after realizing what they've just admitted to. That is exactly what happened. She said that Taylor only suspected her because they had gotten into an argument. According to her, it was something said in the heat of the moment, something angry and baseless. But she never, not once, explained why she suspected him. And then she got quiet. You could tell she knew she'd crossed into territory she couldn't easily back out of. She said she didn't want to talk about that right now, but by that point, everyone watching already knew too. You could practically feel the air leave the chat. That moment, that pause, it was heavy. People weren't typing, they were just processing. And let's be honest, besties, people don't just throw around accusations like that. Not ones that dark. Don't scream that word in an argument unless there is something real behind it. This wasn't petty couple drama. This was serious. This was revealing. It was like watching someone slowly unwrap a secret they didn't mean to share. And what makes it even worse? This wasn't the first time Taylor's name had come up in this kind of context. Far from it. Because in a past conversation that later resurfaced online, Alex allegedly told one of her friends that Taylor had done something incredibly inappropriate around their kids. She said, and I still get chills saying this, that he would stand outside their bedroom door and touch himself on purpose so the children could hear him. Like, imagine hearing that from a mother about the man she's living with. My heart dropped. Those aren't light accusations. That's not something you confuse or exaggerate. And you'd think that after saying something so vile, she would cut him off forever, right? Like, that would be the final straw. But no, she did the unthinkable. She went back. She moved back in with the same man she had accused of doing that. And she brought her 3 children with her. 3 innocent kids who didn't ask for any of this. And what really makes your stomach turn? Her youngest, the little one who's just 3, isn't even his biological child. Everything she's done feels even more dangerous, even more reckless. Because she's not just putting her kids at risk, she's putting a child who doesn't share his bloodline in the care of a man she herself described as unsafe. And people online? They were horrified, shocked, disgusted. You could see creators reacting in real time, mouths open, eyes wide, whispering, "No way."
Something that has been really bothering me about the Donut Mom's interview the other day that has just really stuck out is the fact that she stated that this man, her boyfriend, accused her of essaying her daughter and took it to authorities, was serious, okay, serious allegations. And later on, she says in the interview that, why would he go this far? Why would he lie about it? And then it made me believe that he was actually the one doing it. But our daughter, which I believe it's their daughter, if anybody knows if the boyfriend is the father of all these kids, please let me know. But she says, but then they took the daughter to have a kit done, basically, to be looked at. And she's like, so I guess it wasn't happening on both ends. Huh? Let's start with number 1. Why did you take this guy back? That's actually so sick. If he is making something like that up, his phone, his computer, his hard drive needs to be checked, because who the flying fuck comes up with a story like that about your child? Weird. And then in addition, she says, oh, well, she got checked, so I guess it wasn't happening on both ends. Huh? You should know it's not. But the fact that she called him out was it made me think that he might be doing it because, when people accuse you of something, it's usually because they're the ones doing it. Just extremely unsettling.
And yet all of this, every single piece of it, came straight from Alex's own mouth. No rumors, no edits, no speculation. Just her telling the world the story she thought she could control, but couldn't. Now here's where it spirals. Because instead of stepping back, reflecting and realizing the gravity of what she said, Alex doubled down. She got angry. Not at herself, not at the situation, but at the creators calling her out for it. The irony? She's mad that people are repeating her own words. Creators across TikTok began posting clips of her live, analyzing every second, pointing out the red flags, the inconsistencies, and most importantly, the danger her children might be in. People begged for CBS to step in. They said what everyone else was too afraid to say out loud. These kids are not safe. But instead of trying to show remorse or clarity, Alex went into full defense mode. She turned off her comments. She started deleting critical messages. And then she began threatening other creators. Yes, threatening them. One of those creators is a TikToker named Morgan, who's been covering this story extensively. Morgan's videos about Alex and Taylor gained hundreds of thousands of views, making the situation go viral, and apparently, that pushed Alex to her breaking point. She messaged Morgan directly, sending multiple DMs that were nothing short of threats, demanding that Morgan stop talking about her. Morgan later shared those messages publicly and said she had to cuss Alex out to make her stop.
Donut Mom on TikTok texted my phone yesterday, sending me threats because of my TikTok videos. Now, what's crazy is you willingly brought your ass on TikTok to literally talk about how your man and you suspected SA against your own child, and then you got back with him. And this was all information that you willingly gave the internet, by the way. So the fact that you're mad that people are now judging or talking about it or coming up with their own things of what may be going on is crazy, because that's pretty normal for people to be concerned about some shit like that they just heard, because that's not fucking normal behavior whatsoever. Oh, and I definitely did cuss her ass the fuck out. I wish I could show y'all what I was saying to her. I wish I could post these screenshots on here, but they are just too bad.
But honestly, the fact that Alex thought she could silence people like that, it's terrifying. Because if she's this unhinged with strangers on the internet, what's she like when the camera is not on? What happens when her own kids make her angry? And that's the thought that haunts everyone following this case, that what we see online might only be the surface. Now, long-time followers weren't exactly shocked. People have always said that there is something off about Alex. The way she interacts with her children never felt right. She always seems cold, detached, like she's forcing herself to act like a mom when the camera is rolling. And the second it's off, the warmth disappears. She yells at her kids mid-live stream if they make too much noise, snaps at them for interrupting, and then goes right back to smiling at her audience. It's jarring. But what really broke people was what happened during her live stream with Maria. Her 6-year-old daughter, completely unaware of what she was saying, told everyone that her mom smacks her in the face. She said it so matter-of-factly, so innocently, like she didn't even realize how serious it was. That one sentence changed everything. Instead of reacting with shock or compassion, Alex immediately got defensive. She claimed her daughter makes things up for attention. She even went as far as to call her mentally unstable, saying her child likes to lie. And to make herself look better, she started exposing deeply private details about her daughter's therapy. She said a therapist visits their home every day, and then she quoted what the therapist supposedly said, comparing her daughter to a cup with a hole in the bottom that never gets full. She said that no matter how much attention she gives her, her daughter always wants more and disturbs her siblings just to get a reaction. That's how she framed her child's cry for help as manipulation.
Okay, and one more thing about the donut mom on that live last night that I found extremely disturbing is the fact that she was so willing to disclose her 6-year-old child's personal information, things she does in therapy, what she's doing, how she's acting, and completely displaying that online without her consent. But in addition, she also went on to say that she does this all the time when I'm hopping on lives, and it's not fair to me. I don't know why she's doing that. Why, as a parent, aren't you secluding yourself so that your 6-year-old doesn't interrupt you and say lies on you online? It's almost like she's not lying. It's almost like you're just hoping people don't catch it. It's almost like she is seeking out attention because you're putting more attention on your TikTok shit than you are your children who are seeking out that attention from you. I just cannot understand these parents who want us to be like, oh, like, it's so sad. Your 6-year-old came on here and said that you were hitting her. First off, I'm always going to believe a child. First off, that number one, always going to believe a child in that situation. Most children don't lie about parents hitting them. They'll lie about little things. I'm not saying kids don't lie. They do. Kids also like to embarrass their parents, but you have to ask where these behaviors are coming from. You sharing all of her information online and shaming her when she can hear you. She's literally close enough for her to hear everything you are saying. And you're just shame. You think that's going to make her stop lying on you? It's not. And then her being like, oh, everybody's just going to clip this. Everybody's just going to take this. They lie on me all the time. Then maybe refine some of the shit you're posting online. Nobody asked to be here. Nobody asked for what you're putting online. You pick and choose that. You choose to be on here. You choose to show the rabbit turds all over your house. You choose to show the clutter. You choose to show your disgusting, filthy kitchen and dirty ass dishes. You choose to show your bathroom with disgusting pool-filled water that's murky as hell and the sides of your toilets, and admit that you don't clean both sides. Like, I'm not going to feel bad for you. And I'm going to always believe an innocent child in a situation growing up in a situation like that.
But the contradictions were obvious, because not long after denying that she hit her daughter, Alex said, I only smack her hand when she bothers her siblings. So which is it? Does she hit her or not? You can't have it both ways. And that's when people realized she wasn't trying to clear her name. She was trying to rewrite the story. The internet didn't stay quiet. Multiple creators, some with massive platforms, began rallying together to raise awareness. They urged people to contact CPS to not let this case slip through the cracks again. Many even shared the exact department to reach out to, the Corwin County Sheriff's Department in Edenton, North Carolina. That's where Alex and Taylor live with their 3 kids, ages 8, 6, and 3. People had been describing the home as unsafe, unsanitary, and emotionally toxic. Some even say it's a biohazard for children. And when you put it that next to the things Alex herself has admitted, it's honestly hard to argue. But instead of cleaning up her act, Alex's reaction was to pretend none of it existed. She turned off her comments. She started uploading cheerful family clips. She even posted videos of her kids trick-or-treating, like nothing was wrong. It's almost as if she believes she can rebrand her way out of this. Like a few smiling clips can erase the horror she put online. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, she's still threatening creators, still lashing out, still refusing to take responsibility. The denier is almost delusional at this point. And what's worse is that her children are still in that environment. They are still living with her Aunt Taylor, and everyone's wondering, how much longer until something irreversible happens? This is where it hits the hardest, and honestly, where it stopped feeling like internet drama for me. Because when you strip away the gossip, the views, the commentary, what you're left with are 3 little kids who didn't ask for any of this. 3 tiny humans living in an environment that feels like a ticking time bomb. And saying that out actually hurts. When Alex went live, she wasn't exposing herself. She was unknowingly exposing her children's pain, their trauma, their whole reality in real time, for thousands of strangers to dissect. And that's the part that breaks me. Like, imagine being that child. You're crying for help, but every time you do, your pain gets called a lie. You're told that you're just doing it for attention. You're meant to feel like the villain in your own story. All because your parent is too focused on saving face online. I can't even imagine what that does to a kid's mind. What happens when a child grows up believing that their feelings don't matter? That love comes with punishment? That silence equals safety? It's horrifying to think about, besties, because this isn't made up. This isn't speculation. This is happening right now, in real time, on live streams, in comment sections, in DMs. And the scariest part? It's all documented. Like literally there for everyone to see. And still, nothing's being done fast enough. You'd think with the amount of evidence sitting online, someone would step in already, right? And then there is that phrase people love to throw around. Children should never be taken from their parents. I get it. That sentiment comes from a place of empathy. But what happens when staying becomes its own slow destruction? When a parent's love isn't protection anymore, but danger wrapped in denial? That's the part where empathy and reality collide. Because sometimes loving a parent means recognizing when they are the problem. Sometimes the safest love is distance. And the thing that hurts most is this isn't even the first time CPS has been involved. There have been reports before. People tried to speak up, but nothing came from it. And now, with everything Alex has said herself, her daughter's words, the public concern, the literal receipts, everyone's sitting here praying that this time the system doesn't fail those kids again. Because they deserve more than survival. They deserve a chance at something normal, something peaceful, something safe. So now we're left wondering, will CPS finally do something? Or will this be another case that gets brushed under the rug once the outrage dies down? Alex might be posting happy videos, pretending to be unbothered, but the truth is out there now. You can't unhear what she said. You can't unsee the fear in her daughter's words. At the end of the day, this isn't just another TikTok scandal. This is about real children living in real danger. And whether Alex realizes it or not, she's shown the world exactly why those kids need help. What do you guys think? Because honestly, I don't even know how to process this one. It's heartbreaking, it's terrifying, and it's one of those stories that sticks with you long after you log off.